at Cadwell Park in the heart of Lincolnshire, a track where talent outweighs power. It's the penultimate round. This is ThundersportGB.
We prepare ourselves for the start of the HMT Pre-National Sport 600s here, the penultimate round of the championship from Cadwell Park. Lining up on pole position is number 49, Lee Williams. Alongside him, number 224, Barry Teasdale. This championship, well, has seen a number of different race winners so far. Barry Teasdale looked like he had it in the bag earlier on in the season, but then missed around, got himself injured. But Barry is number 224 away from the line, quickest. A full grid here. We've got well over 30 riders. One of them's got their arm up as they head down into the first corner. Of course, slippery conditions out here. It's not full wet, but luckily these machines are not allowed to ride with full slicks anyway. They race with the road tyres, which are pretty much cut slicks. But that number 64 is Chris Helliwell. That's got off to a decent start ahead of Lee Williams, and Matthew Waldron has got off to a decent start also. Just so you know, coming into this race in the pre-national championship, Barry Teasdale leads with 422, ahead of Mark Burdett, 343, Wilkinson on 237 points, and then it's Helliwell and Lee Williams. Going down into Mansfield there, further back. This is a championship for pretty much rookies in Formula 600s and Superstock 600s. As you see there, number 111, Matthew Waldron having taken the lead. And it's been a great event so far this year. Winners of this championship will no doubt move on to the RLR Sportsman Elite category for 2013, and a number of these riders have already dipped their toe in the water in that series so far this year to great effect and have picked up a few points, but very much a class for riders that are new to the sport. Exiting Barn Corner, the race leader, Matt Waldron, ahead of Chris Helliwell, number 64. Chris, who always turns up to every single race meeting with a massive support and family and friends. As number 47 and number 40 go by there. 47, Frank Gallagher. Number 40, Jonathan Perry. Barry Teasdale, well, he's been shuffled well back, so I imagine Barry not a fan of the damp conditions, unlike Matthew Waldron at the front. That's number 13, Luke Shelley, who's got off to a flyer. Luke Shelley started on the second row of the grid in 5th place. It's a 3x3 grid format here at Cadwell, due to start-finish straight being reasonably narrow. But Luke Shelley, there he is, in 2nd place overall, just ahead of Chris Helliwell now. Chris Helliwell, were it not for a couple of DNFs throughout the season, could have been fighting for the championship, but as it is, it looks like it's going to be just down to either Barry Teasdale and Mark Burdett. Burdett's running the number 33 out there on a Kawasaki, so she should be quite easy to spot. Decent crowd there in the grandstand at the mountain. Coming onto the start-finish straight, it is Matthew Waldron that leads. There is Mark Burdett, a rider that has picked up a lot of points in the last few rounds to give himself a fighting chance of clinching the title. Then it's number 7 and number 156. Number 7 is James Shaw, 156 is Paul Goodwin from Blackpool. As I said, somewhat over 30 riders on the grid for this race, and the rain, is it starting to come down again now for the riders? There's Chris Helliwell just losing touch of the two race leaders. Mark Burdett has settled in nicely, got his tyres up to temperature and now in 4th place. all the while, of course, catching Barry Teasdale in the championship. Barry currently running around with Adam Exton, Sonny Martin, Adam Woby and James Shaw. Just trying to stay in the top 10, really, and get as many points as possible. But Matthew Waldron leads this race on the Triumph 675 ahead of the Yamaha of Shelley, number 13, who certainly looks like the quicker rider so far. Lee Williams, number 49, so far the fastest man, but he just got a terrible start and got swallowed up. So either that or made a mistake somewhere, and that's rider gone down there, and that looked like Luke Shelley. Luke Shelley has gone down at the hairpin, easy to do, very tight through there, and if you're hanging onto the brakes too long on a slippery surface, you will go down, and Luke Shelley is down and out of this one. A man that was 7th in the championship coming into Cadwell, out of the race. Now that promotes Chris Helliwell up to 2nd and Mark Burdett up to 3rd. Further back, that is number 49, Lee Williams, who has got a bit of work to do from pole position, and there is confirmation that that was Luke Shelley with the novice bib on, the orange jacket, walking away from the incident, no doubt frustrated. Well, he's gone from being under pressure to being under none at all now, the race leader Matthew Waldron, who leads. There is number 64, Chris Helliwell, on the WDH Racing Yamaha. And there is number 49, the pole man, Lee Williams on the Honda, currently the fastest man on circuit. He's the first into the 142s, so he's making up for lost time. Exiting the chicane and into the mountain comes your race leader, Matt Waldron. Chris Helliwell in 2nd. Then that's Mark Burdett, 2nd in the championship, in 3rd in this race. And then number 93, Ben Neary. David Brooke also having a good race, up in the top 8, along with Adam Extance and Sonny Martin. But well worth keeping an eye out for Lee Williams, because he is around about a 2nd a lap faster than anybody else so far. Whether that's he's left it too late to catch up with everybody else, I'm not sure. Time will tell. As it is, this is working out nicely in the championship for Mark Burdett, because as it stands, he's in 3rd place. Barry Teasdale down in 10th place. So a number of points to be made up. There is Mark, number 33, on the Team Elite Autos Kawasaki. And further back, that's Adam Extance, just going up the inside of David Brooke into Park Corner. One of the best overtaking opportunities. There's Barry Teasdale, the championship leader, number 224, up against a previous race winner, Michael Golden. And Michael did very well at Brands Hatch and Donington in the opening rounds of Thundersport this year, but it's just had a bit of a lull mid-season. There's number 111, Matthew Waldron. Now, Chris Helliwell seems to have dropped off quite a bit in the background. Matthew has got himself back into the 142, so that's encouraging for him. Let's wait and see who's now up into 2nd place further back. That is Chris Helliwell in 2nd, now some 7 or 8 seconds behind, and then we have Mark Burdett and number 93, Ben Neary, and then Lee Williams shooting through the pack. He looks, you can even see, that's when you know someone's going fast, when you can actually see that he's about a 2nd a lap quicker than anybody. That's when you know there's a man on a move. Number 17, James Shaw, just trying to get himself in the top 10. Sonny Martin also, and Adam Woby. But your race leader from the start of this race so far, still 111 Matt Waldron, and already number 49, Lee Williams there, making up ground. This could be close, you know, right to the end of this race. There is number 111, the race leader. Now then, let's wait and see. Lee Williams on the Team Willow Honda, rider from Liverpool, an ex-Supermoto rider, so he won't mind these conditions at all. He is closing in on the whole group as Matt Waldron comes up on a back marker. Just swoops around the outside of him. That'll give him the inside line into the chicane. At the moment, he'll be completely unaware that there is a young man out the back that is flying through the pack. Carl Dyer, that was, that's just been lapped there in one of his first career races. Over the mountain goes your race leader, Waldron. There's Mark Burdett in third, and look, just to the side of him is Lee Williams. Lee Williams is absolutely flying, and as he comes over the top of the mountain, look at the speed he's carrying. Unbelievable. Williams has made up about 6 or 7 places. Across the line, it's last lap flag now for Matt Waldron. Lee Williams' lap time is a 1:41.7. A lot quicker than anyone else. He's not obviously going to catch the race leader. It's Matt's got about a 4 or 5 second lead over Chris Helliwell, and Chris should be safe in second, but Lee Williams has got past Mark Burdett for third. So Mark Burdett has lost, how many is that? 3 precious championship points there to Lee. Lee Williams, who got himself in the top 10 of the championship coming into this event, and stands every chance of still nipping into the top 5. There is number 93, Ben Neary. And Adam Extance, number 36 on the Extance Racing Honda, rider from Derby. Number 7 there is James Shaw from Manchester on the Shaw Hill Racing Yamaha, and then Michael Golden from Ringwood on the Martin and Company CIA Kawasaki. But we now wait for the race leader. It's been pretty easy going, and since the departure of Luke Shelley, who seemed to be the only man to catch Matt, it's been a nice steady race. Through Hall Bends comes Matthew Waldron. He's not had to push really at all in this race. He's got a 5 or 6 second advantage over second place man Chris Helliwell. Into the hairpin and then just barn corner to deal with. Oliver Charlesworth just going across the line there, and he won't quite get lapped, but it is a win there. Great stuff from Matthew Waldron on the Triumph. He's done it with ease. Second place should go to Chris Helliwell, number 64. And it does. Lee Williams takes third, Mark Burdett in fourth, and that's Ben Neary across the line in fifth, with Brooke 7th, Extant, Brooke 6th and Extant 7th, sorry, and then it's Sonny Martin. A fine win then for Matthew Waldron. He takes victory ahead of Chris Helliwell, with Lee Williams in third, Burdett fourth, and then it's Neary and Brooke in 5th and 6th. And there is a very happy winner in the middle. Matthew Waldron takes victory. Chris Helliwell on the left and Lee Williams on the right.
Third position in the pre-national sports 600, Lee Williams. You got the fastest lap of that race. You must feel good.
Yeah, but that fast lap only come in like 5 laps to the end, because I went with the dry rear, where these boys went with the wet, and it benefited them first. But halfway through I come into play, but these lads already done one, but I'm happy with third. So.
And you like Cadwell Park?
Yeah, Cadwell's a real good circuit. I've rode it on Supermoto, but not full circuit, so first time here on a big bike, so I'm enjoying it.
It's obviously doing you well with the third position. Any sponsors to thank?
Just everyone that you can see on me dirty bib after crashing. Dad from last night for putting the bike back together to ride today. Dave from Aintree Riding School for buying me tyres. Just everyone who's a big help for this season and for these rounds. Just thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right.
And second position in the pre-national sports 600, Chris Helliwell. That's boosted you in the championship.
Yeah, after a day like yesterday when I had found a false neutral and fell off again. No, that's brilliant. Didn't expect it, to be fair. One of my bogey tracks. Wanted to pick up full points this week. I didn't manage it yesterday, but we'll just stay on it next race. Really happy. Didn't expect to be here. Massive grin, obviously. Can't believe it.
You look very happy. So is Cadwell not a favourite of yours? Looking forward to Mallory?
Yes, I like Mallory. I'll have a go there. It's just, I don't know. Just me and this circuit. Might all be in my head, as they all tell me, but hey ho. After last night and I had a crash yesterday, like they said, they put it back together again. Thank you to them lot again, Uncle Mark and Glyn and everybody. Magic, really were. I can't believe it. And this is little Ollie, his mate sponsor son, and I promised him if I got on podium at Cadwell Park, I'd bring him on so his mates could see him on TV.
Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
A brilliant position, thanks very much.
All right, thank you.
And winner of the pre-national sports 600, Matthew Waldron. A brilliant win for you.
Well, we turned up on the grid and we were on full wets, big gamble. Turned up on the front row, I was on third, looked across to my right, and I could see second and first both with a dry rear on, and we just thought, oh dear, have we made the right choice? But I could see first turn was wet. Didn't get a great start, bit tentative. Some of the riders in front with dries and going into it, and I managed to get a good ride on the outside, follow Chris, and then we sort of just went from there and just prayed that the wets would last a dry race virtually, so it was really good.
Tricky conditions. Do you reckon another win for the next race?
We'll have to say, probably Chris has just said in that interview then that his wet tyres have gone and mine has, but we agreed with the team before that I'd rather destroy a set of wets and keep the bike upright, so that was a bonus. So yeah, I think a new set of wets, or if it's like it is, we're back on dries.
Good thinking. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, obviously I'd like to thank Small Boy Track Bikes, the guys who provided me with a motorcycle. Big thanks to them. Thanks to No Limits, because I instruct for them, but I do get a lot of time on circuit with them. A big thanks to Hammer and Tongs, they look after my bike as well. 100% suspension for Dim suspension. GB Racing, Daytona Boots, and all the family and everybody concerned who just helps make the weekend much easier.
A brilliant win, thank you.
Very much. Cheers.
Moped, sports bikes, you save watts. Any bike, it makes no odds. We will give you what you need. Best price always guaranteed. Come to us and get a quote. You'll be singing note for note. Walk away with cash to spend on anything you want, my friend. Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer, Bike Insurer.
Get the cheapest bike insurance, guaranteed, only from the Bike Insurer.
Second race then for the HMT Racing Pre-National Sport 600. HMT, of course, standing for Holbeach Motorcycle Tyres, a long-standing supporter and our tyre crew here at ThundersportGB. And the championship, well, it should go down to the wire between number 224 Barry Teasdale and number 33 Mark Burdett, regardless of a result here. We had a slightly damp race one, but on pole position on your left of your screen, number 49 Lee Williams came through the pack, and if he can get himself a better start, he has to be favourite for this race. He goes alongside Barry Teasdale there, who gets away better. Barry, clearly not so much a fan of the damp conditions, but this is very much dry, so we should see a better performance from Barry. Look out for number 33, the Kawasaki of Mark Burdett. He is second overall in the championship and could do with a good result also here. Down the dip at the Park Straight, you'll see the Many Minute coming up over the brow of the hill and then down on the brakes, and it is Lee Williams, the pole man, that has the advantage ahead of Barry Teasdale. Further back there you can see number 73, that's David Brook. A number of orange vests out there to look at for the novices. Down the hill we go and into Mansfield. Dean Pearce out in this one as well, number 6 on the Triumph 675. Luke Shelley, who fell in race 1 whilst chasing for the lead up at the hairpin, will look to try and just finish this race and get as many points as possible. There's Carl Dyer, number 44, just going through. But Lee Williams leads this race from Barry Teasdale. There is number 7 going through into third place. It's James Shaw, and then we have Dean Pearce just behind on the yellow, black and blue Triumph. Mark Burdett is just in amongst that pack for 7th and 8th with Dave Brook, Chris Halliwell, Ben Neary and Stephen Kaplan. Stephen Kaplan currently second in the Armed Forces Championship behind Simon Critchlow, but ahead of Mick Riddle. All three of them are RAF Motorsport Association riders, and they lead the Royal Navy and the Army teams in that Armed Forces Championship. But it is 49 Lee Williams that leads. Lee has got a good chance of finishing in the top 3 or 4 of the championship this year if he can keep up with results like this. Barry Teasdale will be quite happy, though, I would imagine, to set off the second here. He's going to go into Mallory as the championship leader no matter what, but It's just a matter of by how many points. There is number 31, Colin Wilson, Team Navy. Great colour scheme on the side of his bike. And coming through there now, number 7, James Shaw on the Shaw Hill Racing Yamaha, the rider from Manchester. There's the race 1 winner just going through the picture, Matthew Waldron, ahead of Luke Shelley. Luke Shelley on the all-weather leisure Honda with slightly tatty orange bib thanks to that fall into the hairpin last lap. Oh, blimey, nearly did it again there. Out of barn corner comes the race leader, Lee Williams, and well, he's just posted a low 1:37, and Barry Teasdale can't match that, but Barry doesn't really need to worry about Lee Williams too much. It's Mark Burdett that he'll be concerned about. 3rd place there for number 7, James Shaw, ahead of Dean Pearce. Where's Mark Burdett? There, Mark Burdett has gone through in about 7th place. As the riders exit barn, there's 30 riders out on circuit at the moment. There is number 87, number 37, and number 47. So 87 Graham Humm, 47 Frank Gallagher, and it couldn't have been number 37 because we haven't got a 37. It must have been number 32 Mark Greenslade. How I've managed to see a number 7 as a, or a number 2 as a number 7 is beyond me, but never mind. There is Mark Burdett, 2nd in the championship. Having a bit of a lonely race by all accounts. Just up ahead of 73 David Brooke, and there's Chris Helliwell. Adam Exton's going on there. He was overtaken by Chris Helliwell, but he's just left himself with no room. So Adam Exton's runs wide onto the grass, rejoins the circuit. Lee Williams has a big look over his shoulder. Lee on the Team Willow Honda, rider from Liverpool, ahead of Barry Teasdale, number 224. Of course, Barry from Prudhoe on the Premier Truck Hire Honda. Had a number of wins earlier on in the season to build up a massive championship lead, but just lost ground to Mark Burdett back at Rockingham. Here comes James Shaw, number 7. And there is Luke Shelley, number 13, from Tamworth. He's tipping into the hairpin behind number 111, Matthew Waldron, on the Triumph. Across the line to complete another lap. There goes Lee Williams, just putting a lap on Murray Hambro on the Triumph, number 912. You can just see all elbows, really, the riding style. Supermoto rider. It's taken him a while, I understand, to sort of get out of the habit of putting your foot out when you go around the corners. There's Dean Pearce just going through at number 6. Dean in the top 5 of the championship overall. Well, he was, but Lee Williams could well find himself inside the top 5 if he takes a win here. Panning back through the grid, we just saw number 91, Danny Marston, and there's Jonathan Perry, number 40. Ahead of Colin Wilson and Daniel Ingham, who's in 20th place. There's the 26, Oliver Charlesworth, just being lapped. And there is the battle for 3rd place. Matthew Waldron, the winner of race 1, ahead of Dean Pearce, the Triumph battle for 3rd and 4th. Then it's Luke Shelley and I think Mark Burdett's closing in. Last lap flag out now. Barry Teasdale in 2nd place. 20 points here would extend his lead in the championship over Mark Burdett, but it's all been about this man here, Lee Williams. Came into Cadwell Park in 10th overall in the championship, and if my maths are right, he could, if he finishes this race where he is, he could end up 5th, so he'll have made up 5 places in one weekend. Dean Pearce up the inside of Matthew Waldron, but unfortunately he runs out of road. Runs wide on the exit and allows Matt Waldron just to go through again. That's the battle for the final podium place. Mark Burdett has got himself ahead. He's still ahead of David Brooke. He's going to finish in 7th or 8th place. But Lee Williams is going to take the 25 points here. Flies over the mountaintop, full air, as he tips into Hall Bends with around about a 9 or 10 seconds gap and lead over the championship leader, Barry Teasdale. There's a number of riders make their way through. Look in the background and you will see number 49 receiving the checkered flag. He wins here. Good result for Lee Williams, well deserved. A 1:36.5, by far the fastest lap of the race. ahead of Barry Teasdale. Matt Waldron finishes third, and then it's Dean Pearce, Luke Shelley and James Shaw sixth. It's all going down to Mallory.
Third position in the pre-national sports 600s goes to Matthew Roldan. Another podium for you this weekend. You must be chuffed.
Yeah, very happy. Good as a win in the drive. Just haven't quite got the pace in the drive with Lee and Barry. So I know we had a good result in race one, but this is just as good. Bad start, awful start. I think it was about 6 or 7 into turn one. So to get back to third, yeah, great weekend.
You're looking to push more at the next round at Mallory Park?
Well, I'm actually having a bit of a break. I've actually got to go and work on the next one, so sadly I'll leave it to these guys to fight out at Mallory, but we'll come back next year and compete again with Thundersport.
At least it ended on the podium. Any sponsors to thank?
Yeah, again, just had thanks to Mobile Track Bikes for the bike, no limits for the track days and the time out on circuit. Big thanks to Hammond Tongs, any problems we have with the bike, so you look after it. 100% suspension, GB Racing, Daytona boots, and the whole family for looking after us and making it a good weekend.
Well done, thank you very much. And second position in the pre-national sports 600 goes to Barry Teasdale. That was a really good second position, pushing you further in the championship.
It was good 20 points for towards the championship. Lee was just too fast for me today, so I just had to settle for second. We're pleased with that.
And is Cadwell Park a favourite of yours?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed this weekend. It's a good track. Quite hard to learn, but really good.
Well done. And any sponsors to thank?
Well, Bob Henderson, Premier Truck Hire, TRP. I want to say thanks to Adrian Clark as well. He's helped us all this weekend. So.
Well done.
Okay, cheers.